Hey, I'm Hunt, and this is Hunt on LSU, your channel for LSU Fighting Tiger football talk. Enjoy the video. We want you to leave a comment below, hit that like button, and subscribe right below the video. Enjoy. I haven't gotten to this story in the last 2 days. There's been a lot of things to talk about in the news, but I did want to cover it briefly. And I want to be clear, this is one of those segments that I do where I don't have any inside information. Not a single shred of it. None. I know exactly as much as you do reading the internet. And then I listen to Shay Dixon on Matt Moscona's show, and that's how I form my opinion on this matter. So keep in mind, no inside information here whatsoever. But Pete Nakos is reporting over at On3 that Bryce Underwood is getting a comparable NIL offer from Michigan as he is at LSU. And that's fine to report. You understand the nature of these things. I'm pretty confident that Bryce Underwood, nor his father or mother or coach, they didn't call up Pete Nakos and go, "Hey man, why don't you run this story? Michigan offered us a ton of money." That's not how that went. Here's my guess as to how that went. Someone at Michigan called Pete Nakos, said, "Hey, again, I'm guessing, we're prepared to offer Bryce Underwood like $5 million. You can put that, do whatever you want with it." Pete Nakos wrote the story. And that's fine. But Bryce Underwood has handled this recruiting exceptionally well, in my opinion. Young people handle things the way that they want to handle things. I approve the way some do. I don't approve of the way some others do. It's their life, their situation. They can do whatever it is they want to do. But Bryce Underwood went to the camp circuit, has taken some visits, some official, some unofficial. He was always interested in LSU, came down and camped, came on an official visit, has been on multiple unofficial visits, paying his way from Michigan to LSU, has built a relationship with Judge Sloan and the LSU staff, and then committed to LSU. And since then, has not gone on visits. He's never gone on an official visit to Michigan. Hasn't been on campus in a recruiting capacity 35 minutes away from his house since he committed to LSU. And this story that, oh man, LSU should be concerned, hometown Michigan is coming to get the number one player in the nation right out from under your class at the 11th hour, look out. I just don't buy it at all. How many quotes are out there from Bryce Underwood and his camp saying, we understand that NIL is a big deal, but in our estimation, we're going to pick where Bryce wants to spend his time, where he feels development is going to happen, where he's comfortable. And his plan is to get to the NFL, sign a deal, get to the second deal, and do what Joe Burrow just did, and do what Dak Prescott just did, and do what Jalen Hurts just did. Do what Trevor Lawrence has done. And make hundreds of millions of dollars on that, where this 1.4 a year becomes largely insignificant. That's their plan. Now, whether that happens or not, the future will tell us. But that's how they've handled the recruiting process. And they've looked at LSU as a place that, under different staff, developed Joe Burrow, and under most of this staff, developed Jaden Daniels, with the wide receivers that generally come through this program. And they see LSU as the best place for that, and have done nothing but say that repeatedly in the media and then act on that in the recruiting process. Visiting LSU officially, unofficially. Not going elsewhere officially or unofficially. So this story that should be shaking LSU fans to their core, that there's some massive NIL offer out there, I just don't care. I don't think it's important. I'm not telling Pete Nakos not to write the story. Far from it. He covers NIL for On3. He gets that information. You write the story. Fine. That's not on it. That's his job. I'm just telling you as an LSU fan, if he decides to go play for a team that can't complete a forward pass, that has a guy who appears to be well over his skis as the head coach, who is not fostering a relationship with you half an hour down the road because Michigan showed up with a $6 million check, I'll need to see that to react to it. Meaning, I'm not going to react at all to this story as a fan, as an analyst and someone who's talking to you. I feel like it's my job to give the opinion. Same way it's Pete Nako's job to write the story. It's my job to give you my opinion on it. That's why I'm here for 2 hours every weekday. But as a football fan, an LSU fan, when I saw the story, I didn't care at all. And I would suggest that that's probably the way that you should approach it. That's just my 2 cents on the entire story. Bryce Underwood is going to sign with LSU. He's going to come to LSU. He may never complete a pass at LSU. He may win 2 national championships and a Heisman. I don't know. But the fact that Michigan, who's not taking him on visits and not going on in-home visits and not fostering relationship and not calling him every day, is just going to float this cash at the end and steal him away with no relationship being built, despite what his family has said every step of the way, I'm just not buying that at all. And I don't think it's a story at all, and I'm pretty much done with it. That's just the way I feel about it. Now, on a different note with LSU football, as we kind of get closer to wrapping up the show, some great news for LSU. On the Jordy Culotta show this morning, Jacobian Guillory announced that he is going to come back to LSU for a 6th season. Pete Jenkins, LSU's defensive line coach from last year, is a legend here in Baton Rouge, and he was on Matt Moscona's show earlier this year after Jacobian got hurt, and he told Matt on the air that Jacobian had told him that he's going to come back. And that wasn't a news story we were going to run with. That's just Pete Jenkins talking to Matt on the air. But these rumors had been out there, and Pete had confirmed them here on our airwaves. And it's great news for LSU, because I think Jacobian Guillory had a phenomenal fall camp. I was, as most people, really concerned with what LSU's defensive front was going to look like this year. And Jacobian Guillory was really the only proven piece that was there. Now, he was proven as a backup and not a starting player, but he was big and strong and physical in camp. He was winning one-on-ones routinely with interior offensive linemen, whether it was DJ Chester or LSU's 2 veteran guards. He really looked the part, and unfortunately got hurt early in the season and was lost for the year. But the good news is he is able to come back. And Jacobian's one of those guys, you heard interviews with him in fall camp, like, he's just always wanted to play for LSU. And he grew up in Alexandria and wanted to be an LSU Tiger, and he got that opportunity, and he got to LSU, and he was never a starting player. Even so, he never left, never transferred, never entered the portal, never looked around. He just wanted to play for LSU. And he may have a professional future in football, he may not. But he's only got one more chance to play for LSU, and he's going to take that, which is a big deal for the Tigers. You look at the way that Ahmad Bro has played this year, which has been admirable as a young player who probably shouldn't be in that position. You figure he'll make an improvement in year 2. You hope Dominic McKinley, as an interior player, can really blossom into a star. But Jacobian Guillory will be kind of your anchor. Gio Paez will move on to the NFL, and you've got to restock those shelves. And defensive tackle is a tough place to do it, but you've got to win games. And you saw LSU get hurt badly with the ground game over the weekend, and I'm not telling you Jacobian Guillory would have fixed that. In fact, I would tell you he probably wouldn't have fixed it, but he certainly would have hurt. And I think it's great for Jacobian to make that decision. I think it's great for LSU. You're going to lose some real talent up front on defense. You're going to lose Braden Swinson. Savion Jones certainly has the opportunity to move on if he wants to. Gio Paez will be gone. You're kind of looking at who's going to be next there. And to have a 6th-year senior come back motivated to be a leader, to be kind of the alpha in that room and to help you at the point of attack while those young guys, Bro and McKinley and some of those other players, come on, that's a big deal. So I'm thrilled that Jacobian Guillory has decided to come back, announced that on the Culotta show today. And LSU will certainly take him next year, as they're going to be replacing a lot of talent on the defensive side of the football. That's part of this development. This staff has got to restock those shelves, and they've got to be better on defense than they have been. I trust that they will be. A little bit of a step back in the second half on Saturday, but Jacobian Guillory, I hope to give them a step forward coming up this offseason and into next football season in 2025. All right, that's your look at LSU for the day. If you're looking for LSU football content, you can always find it at Hunt on LSU on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. All your LSU football news right there. Recruiting right there. LSU football talk right there. None of the basketball, baseball, football. None of that. All football all the time on Hunt on LSU. So go ahead and subscribe to it so those videos feed right to your channel each and every day. Hey, thanks for watching Hunt on LSU. Before you get out of here, do us a couple of favors. Hit that like button. Leave your comments below and subscribe to the channel for all your Fighting Tiger football talk. See you next time.